Okay, so we're off on a little milk run today. I've just got to take a prescription down the doctor's really, so it's pointless taking the car. We'll take the Master because it's only a few miles. It's a still day. There's not much wind. Let's have a look. It's only blowing, it's blowing 3-4 miles an hour, it's nothing. So it's still, it's dry, and I've got a little chore to do.
1 mile per hour, battery 62%.
So
Phone battery 90%.
the Master it is.
Data logging active.
Now, I haven't been riding for a little while, and that's because, well, partly because of the weather, and more recently, because I hurt my back. But my back is fine, or relatively fine. It's not giving me any twinges or anything.
Tour recording has been started.
Tour recording has been started. Okay, thank you. Data log is also started. So, like I say, we got the Master. A still day and a little job to do. So that is what we're going to do.
Speed.
Set off.
50 miles. Battery 61%. Phone battery 90%. Tour recording active. Data logging
Right. Like I say, I haven't been riding, and the Master is a new wheel for me anyway, so I'm not used to it. The high foot plates are causing me some difficulties, which I'm going to have to practice. Come the summer, I'm going to have to practice a lot. I won't be able to get on this thing straight forward, and that's not the case at the moment. I can get on it, but it's usually a shaky start. And this, you know, after the 16X, the Kingston 16X has got quite low foot plates, so after riding that, to get onto this, they're very high. Now I've got the S18 as well, and that, the foot plates are a bit higher, which helps, but not as high as this. Still, it's feeling alright. Once I've done a couple of miles, I'll be back in the flow. It is cold though. The eyes are streaming already, and I wear glasses, which helps. So we've got a car turning right here. I hope he gets out of the way. That would be nice. Thank you. So we'll go here. I'm not as steady on this as I was last time I rode it. Not surprising really. It'll take me a little while to get back into it. I forgot to check the tyre pressure. It seemed alright, but I should have done really. Soft suits this machine, mind you. Hard tyre on this is not good. Not on the knobbly tyre. So we're just going into Hellstone, and we'll see how we go. Now, I've got an Insta360 camera, and I've got that. I've been buying a few things for that. I've got a selfie stick which has got batteries built into it, so that'll stop the battery going flat halfway through a ride, which is what I've had before. I've got a Rode wireless Go mic which cuts down on the wind noise, and that seems to work very well. And then I 3D printed a mount so I can put that the sender bit of the GoPro mic on the Insta360 X1X2 camera. All of that seems to work well with the powered selfie stick. I haven't brought that today because riding with a selfie stick adds another complication, and like I say, I haven't been riding very much. It's a new wheel. I used to do hang gliding years ago, and my hang gliding instructor says don't do too many new things at once. You know, if you've got something new, go with that, conquer that, and then when you're comfortable you can add something else new. So I think in general that's a very sensible approach. What I have got, which is a little bit new, I put a GoPro on my helmet, so it's on the chin part of the helmet, to record my rides that way. I've seen a few other people have done that quite successfully. The footage is quite nice, so I've done that, and that seems to be all right. I've got a remote for it's a GoPro. It's not a new one. It's a Hero 4, but there's a remote with it, and when the thing's all bolted up to your face, the remote does make life a bit easier. So you've got squiggly bits here. Now the bumps are obviously not a problem because of the suspension. What it does to you in terms of the ride on the knobbly tyre is different. I think I'm certainly aware that the surface is appalling, but it didn't cause many problems. I mean, I'm crawling along here. In all honesty, I'm not doing any speed at all. So now we're coming up. There's some big bumps here. Again, I don't expect them to be any problem for this wheel, although I've certainly felt them. But well, I felt them. My wheel went over them. So just down here there's a curb, a drop. Now I've just got the standard pads on this machine. I'm not locked in, so the suspension can handle it, but I just grip the wheel a little bit more as I go down the steps, so I remain locked in. Although it wasn't a problem. It's only a short curve. It's a 4-inch, 5-inch curve, 4-inch fold. So all well and good. I've probably done a mile, and I'm already feeling happier. Well, what it is, not to stay consistent. So what I'm doing now, we're just weaving. We've got a person up here. We're just carving, not weaving. We're carving either side of the line. Give that young lady a wide berth. So carving is always a good thing because it means you're in constant control. You're not just standing on the thing as a passenger. You are constantly putting in input to do stuff. Let's go a bit faster. So again, what we want to do, we just want to be carving. I go one side of the line and the other and back again, backwards and forwards. Now my right hand calf is hurting, probably because I'm not quite right on the foot plate. The foot plates on the Master are really good. You've got They're nice large foot plates. The studs are really good. Your feet don't slip around. You don't have to replace them. I've replaced the foot plates on my S18 and on the 16X. But I've got no intention to do it to the Master because they are really good. And I'm a little bit too far back on the plates, which means I'm picking up the brake pads, the standard Master brake pads, really quickly. But even with bent knees, but not so much on the front, and that's not good. I should be more forward on the plates. In fact, I'm probably a good ½ inch too far back, which is not a good thing. I really should be more forward on the plates. So what I'll do is, it's all drafty up here, even though there's no wind today. When I get into Hellstone, I'll just stop and arrange my position a little bit better. So we've got into Hellstone now. So what I'm going to do is we'll go up to the bus stop, and I'm going to pull up on the bus stop. Here's the bus stop. So we'll just pull up on the bus stop here. And I'm going to just go forward just that little bit on my foot plates. And we'll see how much difference that makes. Probably not a lot, but I was just conscious of it, you know. I don't know if it's a higher foot position, but yeah, I can go faster, easier. Well, you can always go fast on this thing, but the difference is it's just easier. Go through the roundabout here. So this brings us to the surgery. I'll deliver my that's it there. Now what we're doing now is just heading down to the boating lake.
9 miles per hour. Distance 3 miles.
No particular reason. Well, I guess there is a particular reason. The Penrose ride is one that I like to do on this wheel, and I might do that today. When I first started riding these, inclines down or up used to send me, particularly down, strangely enough. I was always frightened the wheel would get away from me. I think if you came off, it is possible that it might, but inclines across the track used to faze me terribly, because the wheel would want to turn on that incline downhill. So what we will do is we'll pull up here.
Distance 3 miles, 1100 wide.
Do not want to be wobbling around. In inappropriate places. There we go. That was all right. Right. Traffic lights up here. Don't like traffic lights. Right. That's it. Right, this is where we were aiming to go, Penrose. So we're going to do some carving. That's exaggerated, really. I've actually got my foot position where I wanted it to be when I started now. It feels very natural and it doesn't hurt my calf now. So we're just dancing about on there. You can hear a leaf or something flapping around in the wheel. Right. Oh, hiya. That's so I walked down there the other day. Like I say, I'd hurt my back, and I thought, in actual fact, EUCs don't hurt your back. You're standing upright. You've got quite good posture, actually. But anyway, my back was giving me twinges. I thought it was probably not sensible riding the wheel, so I just walked it, and it was a bit like today, really. Very pleasant, chatting to people as I came down. So but I do love this wheel. I've got to ride. This summer, I have got to ride this a lot. I've just got to get comfortable on this because at the moment, I'm like a. I'm like a bloody broomstick on it at the moment, stiff, and you know, because the confidence isn't there. Because one, I just haven't got the miles on it, and second, you know, it's a new wheel. It's, you know, and it's not as if I've been riding my other wheels a lot, because I haven't. The winter and Christmas and bad backs and all kinds of other rubbish has really slowed me up. Yeah. Oh, hiya.
Speed 8 miles per hour. Distance 4 miles.
I always slow up a lot with people. It's not just for safety, although, you know, children and dogs, you never know what they're going to do. But it's also just showing a bit of consideration for them, because people don't like you coming up on them fast or going past you at speed. It makes them jump. They don't know what's happening for a second. It startles them, and that is not a good image for this sport. Right, yeah, I know, it's strange, isn't it? So when I came down here, past the National Trust rule here, clearing this, they spent the day down here because it was all covered in leaves and dirt. You couldn't see the tarmac, and it's all volunteers, and they've done a good job. So this is the gatehouse for the, I know it's like a manor house, gatehouse, isn't it? Gatekeeper's cottage, if you like. It looks out over Low Pool, which is rather nice. Very nice, in fact. There is a cafe down here, which I like going to, which is all rather pleasant. See, it suddenly goes bumpy. Don't know what the difference, why this side of the gatehouse should be more bumpy than the other side, but there you have it.
5 miles, 500 yards. Battery 42%. Low battery 82%. 29 minutes from now. More recording active. Date recording active.
Now, the last trip I did, I had a UC World running, but for some reason, I couldn't tell you why, even though it claims to have recorded the tour, it didn't. I'll tell you what that is. Not at all. I actually contacted, I forget his name now, the guy who wrote SeaWorld, and he had a look for me, and he said that no tour had gone on to the server. I have had that before when the phone clock was wrong, but in this last case, the phone was, time and date was correct, so I don't know what happened.
Low battery 82%. 30 minutes.
Oh, hiya.
Clear recording active. Data logging active.
Yeah, I've got a toy as well.
That looks fun.
It is, once you learn how to ride it.
I bet it takes a bit of getting used to.
It does, and at my age it takes me longer to learn than the youngsters. But
What are they called?
it's an electric unicycle.
Oh right.
It's although it's a unicycle, it rides more like a bike really. If you imagine riding a bicycle and you're not holding on to handlebars, that's because it's stable front to back, but it would just fall over left to right, so you have to be moving,
Right.
5 miles, 900
and you'd steer it much in the same way as you'd steer a bike when you're not holding the handlebars. You just like that. Oh, that's that I record. I've got a thing that records my tours, and I edit it down all very boring nonsense, but
Right. All right. Come on, let's go back.
oh yeah,
Hello, all right.
yeah,
How are you?
yeah, pretty good. My new wheel.
I saw an electric one. I saw a chap
Yeah.
cycling all the way from Camborne on a
Yeah,
but not an electric one. Do you know what? His legs are going like the clap,
Yeah.
like that, and he weren't going anywhere.
no.
I was watching him thinking, you're making this really difficult.